Whoa.
Hey, you heard me, bro. You heard me. All right, all right, all right. So, first thoughts.
You're gonna learn today.
You going all right, all right, all right. You gonna learn today. You gonna learn what a long dick feel like today. Feel like, hey, yo, these are hey,
Hey,
yo.
yo.
So I feel like the biggest fucking just elephant in the room is WWE, and not just WWE, but the WrestleMania kickoff press conference, brother. Holy
Yes.
shit! I have never ever felt something that hyped me up so fucking much than when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson slapped the taste out of Cody Rhodes' fucking jawline, bro. Jesus Christ! But first of all, why was Seth even there? You know what I mean? Like, my man had no reason.
Was a third wheel.
He really
A fourth
was.
wheel, actually.
My man was a fourth wheel, except that this was a bicycle. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. Oh, man. No, dude, it's just... What an amazing press conference. First of all, free to the public, which is definitely a plus. I mean, this is all about giving press and giving attention to the big main event, WrestleMania, the biggest one of all time. And brother, they sold this shit. Oh my God, they sold this shit like it was 2-for-1 at Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It really was. Let me.
You knew they had something up their sleeve the whole fucking time.
Oh, it was great. First of all, you know how offended I felt when Roman was like, "Oh, Cody, you lost your chance. You don't get to make the decision." I'm like, man, fuck you. He won the Royal Rumble. What do you mean? This wasn't in the rule book. The fuck? You know? And then when fucking, I'm gonna say, so The Rock came out, I'm like, no, don't tell me they're doing it. Don't tell me they're doing it. Please, no. Let me just make my opinions clear. I think it should be Cody Rhodes versus Roman at WrestleMania. I think that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just coming in and saying, hey, I'll fight you, is a fucking dumb move. Because one, yes, it will bring money, but that will be short-term gain. At the end of the day, we all know that Roman will demolish Dwayne in the ring. Alright? I'm not saying that because of his ring prowess. I'm saying because scripting it makes no sense for Dwayne to win. Because he's less than a part-timer. He's a no-timer. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You shit on the entire WWE locker room if Dwayne beats Roman. And that's the truth. So we already know the result. So why have it? At least not now involving the championship. I would love to see that match in the future. But involving the championship is completely unnecessary, in my humble opinion. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Take it off Roman, and then do the feud between Roman and The Rock.
WrestleMania 41. Let's go.
Yeah, because, I mean, the thing is, right, Roman's been champion for going on 4 years now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, people still love Roman, but people are tired of him as champion, especially as a part-time champion.
Of course.
So you got to take the belt off him. Give it to someone who's more deserving, like Cody, and then, you know, you can still have... Roman will still be a big name and a big draw, even if he's not there all the time and even if he's not the champion. I mean, look at Brock Lesnar. They made it a big deal every time he came back.
Oh, fuck
because Bo only showed up like 3 times a year.
And he was main eventing every time, you know?
Exactly. So, like, Roman is literally on that level where he's a big name regardless. He doesn't need the belt. He doesn't need the belt anymore. He's become bigger than what the belt like can do for him, you know?
That's true. That's very true.
Have the belt, you know, lift someone else up.
And 3.5 years of reign is more than enough build-up. What is this, the fucking Undertaker streak? You know what I mean? Like, stop it. It's enough. Just being frank. So at this point, yeah, I think it's 100% plausible that Cody Rhodes will win at WrestleMania 40. If Cody doesn't win at WrestleMania 40, who else is there? Seriously, I mean,
yeah, it's like
there's nobody else in that locker room that hasn't been whooped by Roman, and there is not a single person out of the roster that I think is plausible for them to come back. Really? I mean, except CM Punk, but even then, it's like, why CM Punk? He's already big enough. He don't need the championship.
Yeah, and at this point, like, Roman would have to start fighting the NXT roster, and then if he demolishes all of them, he's gonna have to start fighting the women's division. Like,
brother, for real, yo, Roman Reigns versus Nia Jax. That's the first one. We know this.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ. Nah, she ain't coming back. After what Randy did to her in that Royal Rumble, she ain't ever coming back. Fuck out of here.
I mean, Nia Jax is part of the bloodline, technically.
Technically. Watch out! Oh, that would be funny as fuck. If she came in as like, yeah, you needed a fifth member, right? I got you. Whoa, hold on, wait a minute.
There are people that are wanting that to happen. Her and Tamina are both part of the same family tree.
That
So
would be crazy, actually. And then you have people who have to go against them. Didn't they stop doing like intergender wrestling? Isn't that something that they stopped? Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I think like maybe China was probably one of the last ones like that did it like for real. Because like Nia Jax was in the men's Royal Rumble, but that wasn't like a singles match, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of like the last like singles intergender match.
Well, not singles intergender match. I know that there were tag teams where they were doing like Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss
Oh,
versus.
are you talking about the mixed match challenge?
Yeah. That kind of thing. But like
they can do a mixed tag team.
They stopped that. They stopped doing that. I think because it was on like a separate. It was separate programming on Facebook, so they stopped doing that entirely. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Let's go back to the presser. So when it comes to the presser, brother, they really scheduled this as like an actual boxing presser, except that there were no tables. It was just them standing and talking shit. Yeah. And what I love
with that.
I'm 100% fine with that. And what I love about this, the main thing for me is that, brother, they blurred the lines perfectly. Let me just point this out, okay? The fact that The Rock is at TKO is not blinded by kayfabe, all right? Kayfabe is not blind to that fact, rather. Kayfabe knows damn well that The Rock is in TKO. So, hey, why don't we use that position as a way for The Rock to fuel all of that heel energy he's got right now, brother? It was mental seeing him at the end of that press conference walk up to Triple H and he's like, you better fix this shit. And he was cursing. He was cursing. I was like, oh shit, this is real. This is real. It's like, shut the fucking teeth out of his mouth. Like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
He's like, I understand The Rock is The Rock and he's gonna say shit like that, but like on PG television? Hey, yo. No, that was
and then
crazy,
fucking
bro.
Roman got little cousined.
Bro, Roman
was just standing behind him. You're lucky we're here.
You're lucky we're here.
You haven't done shit.
Yeah, exactly, right? He just put his hands down to his waist. That's all he did. And then immediately when he slapped Cody had to be held back. He was like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah. Triple H was the first one to hold him back.
Yeah, for real. I was like, no, this is counterproductive. We need you.
Yep.
You guys are worth way too much money.
Yeah, we need you for WrestleMania.
Yeah, for real. Calm down. Not at the free event. Not at the free event. Yeah. Oh man, and I love Seth Rollins how he was talking after. It's like, you can't just fucking do whatever you want. This is bullshit. You can't just do whatever you want. It's like, oh, I love that, and it was the perfect lead up to their promo on Raw. It was the perfect.
Did you hear the last thing that Seth said before he walked off stage for the press conference too? He looked at The Rock and he said, "I don't give a shit if you're on the board."
Yeah, I don't give a shit if you're on the board. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
And it
like damn,
like,
corporate Rock.
It's perfect, man. I love it, and I love the call out between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. I mean, Rhea Ripley, you know, she's already top tier. You know what I mean? And then Becky Lynch comes out. It's like, man, mommy's gonna learn what it's like to be a bottom. I'm like, wow,
I love that line.
I was so surprised that no one else used that line before.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, whoa, it was right there. We never grabbed it. That's crazy, you know.
Yeah. And she delivered it so perfectly too. Like it fits her so well.
It was great. And brother, between and if that, I'm gonna say if that match actually happens, like, bro, what do you? Well, I think it is, right? It's official because Elimination Chamber is for what's her name?
It's for the #1 contender. For Rhea Ripley. I think they're making it a little too obvious that Becky's winning.
Yeah, I mean, Becky has to win. Yeah. Are you kidding me with that hype? I mean,
that's a money match. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Yeah. That's a money match right there. So
because she got it off of Charlotte Flair, you know?
Yeah. And Charlotte is like one of the top in the women's division.
One of the four horsewomen.
So it's like who is up there at that level that Rhea Ripley can face is Becky Lynch.
Yeah, because Bayley is fighting Io Sky. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're having their own damage control thing.
What I love, and I'm just gonna say it, I love Drew McIntyre when he cut his little digital promo about talking all this shit, saying that he earned it, he deserves it. I'm like, bro, I believe you. I mean, you got whooped by Seth Rollins like 3 times in a row, but I believe you. You know? It's like,
but I love that they're not ignoring that though. Like they brought it up last week. when Drew came out to tell Cody to finish his story,
Mm-hmm.
and then he brought like Seth was like, why do you think that if I don't fight Cody at Mania, it's gonna be you and me? I've already beaten you twice, and then
Yeah.
Drew immediately flipped it on him and was like, well, you lost to Cody like 3 times, so
Damn, you're right.
yeah. Well, they're not ignoring that, which I like.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I'm
No,
just
Drew is doing some of the best work in his career right now as a heel. He's perfect as a heel. I mean, I love him as a babyface too, but to me he's like elevated as a heel because he looks like a fucking psychopath.
Oh, of
You know, when he's in the ring, he's a killer. His moveset.
He's a Scottish warrior, man. Yeah. That
God, a
Claymore.
psychopath.
I love
I'm pretty
the
sure
Claymore.
that's what they
kick.
call him on the indies.
Yep, makes sense.
Oh, the Claymore kick is a perfect finisher.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like you think you've seen all the finishes, right? And then they just throw some more shit at you, like the fucking Claymore. It's like I would have never thought of that in a million years. It's like he's just jumping at you, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, he did it once in his first run in WWE by accident. He said,
"Really?"
Yeah, and the only reason that it came out looking like a drop kick is because the pants he was wearing at the time were too tight. So because it was supposed to be like a big boot, but he couldn't like stretch his legs.
Oh, so he raised his right leg and his left just followed him. Yeah.
Yep. And so that's how the Claymore was born. His pants were too tight to do a big boot.
That's actually hilarious. Holy shit. Wow. Well, I'm glad we got that. Fuck it.
Yeah, the shit you learn from interviews, bro.
Yeah, no, I love listening to interviews. I love listening to podcasts. I mean, Paul Heyman on a podcast is always an instant watch for me. I don't care. Watching Paul Heyman on a podcast, all the insider information he gives you is ridiculous, bro. You know, he's like his opinion on Chris Benoit and everything is like, wow, this guy he's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he does not.
He doesn't care.
He does not care.
Man,
and
says what he feels.
Blurs kayfabe in reality so well too.
Oh, he really does.
Because he talks about the business like it's real.
Yeah, he does. It's great, man. I love WWE so much right now. I'm going through some of the old pay-per-views. Recently, I just watched Survivor Series War Games 2023. And brother, I thought it was amazing. First of all, both War Games were awesome. Like I thought one was going to be average and then one was going to be amazing. You know, I've never seen a War Games match before. The women's fucking War Games match was awesome. I loved every bit of it. I like the chemistry between the fighters. Como se some of the team-ups that they did. I love some of the spots, including when, I think it was it Io Sky? Io Sky got in the garbage can.
In the trash, yeah.
And she fucking jumped off the steel cage. I'm like, bro, you just launched... She just made a projectile out of that trash can. Like, bro, what the fuck? I don't get it. But legit put, como se threw caution into the wind and just fucking threw herself. That's all it was. That's crazy.
I love her selling of it too. Like when she lands, she just like flops around and the trash can like flies off her head.
It makes sense. I love how cartoony the characters can be too. That's something that's great. Yeah. Especially Damage Control. Those three people, Asuka, Io Sky, and what's the last one?
Kairi Sane.
You got it, Kairi Sane. Yeah, they're so comical all the time.
Yeah, especially Kairi. I think her mannerisms are so over the top and goofy. Like when they opened the cage to let her into the War Games match, she was doing like that weird skit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? It's like that's not necessary, but I'll take it.
I'll take it, right? Exactly. I love that the Four Horsewomen can still turn it on, man. Like Charlotte Flair doing a moonsault off the fucking cage. I'm like, Rick could never do that. Never in a million years could Rick ever do that shit. Holy God. So they can, I'm going to say, so the women can keep up. Holy shit. The way Bayley was getting her ass kicked at the end, like, bro, it was great. I loved every minute of it. It was an awesome match. And, I can see why the fan base loves it now. Como se dice, it loves the women division a lot more than they did before. I mean, it has changed drastically. It's awesome to watch. These matches are classics, one-on-ones are way more entertaining than they used to be. Back in the older Divas divisions, you had a few standout stars, but that's it. Here, everybody's got a good taste. You know what I mean? Everyone's really good at what they do. Except Nia Jax. I don't like Nia Jax.
I think she's a lot better now than she was before, like her first run in the company. Ever since she came back, they've booked her really well, and I think it's helped a lot. And she's still not great in the ring, but they're putting her with people that can, make her look a lot better, like Becky Lynch, and then now she's going to face Rhea Ripley. So I think this run hasn't been all too bad. And I went from being a Nia Jax hater to being like, yeah, she's there. I'll take it. I will take it.
When I just watched their match, Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax in Raw Day 1.
Yeah.
I just recently saw that match, and como say, so I was like, well, you know what, this is pretty good. I enjoyed it. And then she whooped Becky. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I tell you what, she can rise the hate out of their fans, which is really good. You know what I mean? Like whenever she wins, people are rioting. It's like, yeah,
of course, no one wants her to win ever,
right? And that's crazy because because I'm sure like there's probably some excuses like, oh, it's because she's a heavier set woman or something. I'm like, that's not the truth. The other one's perfect at her job. You know what I mean? She's real agile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no one hates her, so I don't get it. It is what it is. What can you do? Oh my God, you're being insensitive. Exactly. All right, what do you expect?
That is the point.
That is the point. Go serious. But even then, Nia Jax does display some ring acumen, obviously. I mean, she does shit that no other woman has done before, obviously. That goes without being said.
Yeah.
But still, compare her to other wrestlers. Get her off my roster. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, no, she's definitely no four horsewomen. She's no Rhea Ripley.
100%. No, the four horsewomen.
She hasn't put on that classic yet. Nia Jax doesn't have a classic. She hasn't had that potential yet.
Just being honest, like you look at the four horsewomen, it's just like that's perfect casting. You know what I mean? Like those are legit the best of the women's division, hands down. Like those are the top guys. I think Sasha Banks. I would like her to be considered amongst those people, but she's not as good as the women, to be frank. You know what I mean?
She's one of the four horsewomen.
Is she? I thought it was Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, and
No, Alexa Bliss is not one of those.
Oh.
She was coming up during that time with them, but she wasn't like at that level.
All right. Well, then I'm an idiot. My bad. I just
it's Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky, and Charlotte. It's just Sasha's the only one that's not in the company right now. She's not in WWE. She's in. I think she just signed to AEW. I don't know. It's the thing. It's up in the air. We don't know where she's going.
I mean, como se dice, I'm not sure where she's going either. But to be honest, I like como se dice, I like Sasha Banks. I like how she sells moves. I like how agile she can be. I mean, she was a really good wrestler with some of the matches that I saw. Cool. She was definitely. Yeah, como se dice, I kind of wish they put Alexa Bliss instead of Sasha, to be frank, though. All right, fine.
I really like Alexa Bliss. I think she's underrated.
I love Alexa Bliss. She's awesome. You know what I mean?
Especially when she was a heel, her goddess character. That was like my favorite gimmick of her because she would literally talk down on everybody, and it was like she's like the mean girl in school, but it was so entertaining, and she was just like at the time I think she was probably the best on the women's division.
Fucking 5 Feet of Fury, whoever made that term. Oh my, they need a raise.
yeah.
They really do.
I have no clue who coined it, but it's a good one.
It really is. But that's the thing is I could never replace Bayley. I could never replace Charlotte Flair, and I could never replace what's the last one?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch, of course.
Yeah.
I was thinking orange hair. What's her name? Becky. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah. The man.
The man. You get it. Isn't she's like amongst the highest paid superstars in the roster? You know what I mean? There's a reason for that. Becky knows how to turn it up, man. Oh my God, just amazing. And it's
crazy to think that amongst mainstream culture, Becky is more famous than Seth Rollins.
Damn. Yeah, you know what? Fair. And before people start asking, oh, why would it be different? Brother, calm down, okay? It's okay.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, well, Seth Rollins is the world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Becky doesn't have a belt right now. She's not a champion. And yet I think she's still, she has that popularity over Seth Rollins.
Bro, it's such a crazy. How fucking much content there is to consume for me right now. It's been 10 years since I've been watching WWE, and there's so much shit I missed. It's so good. Yeah. I just love seeing all the new stuff. I thought it was a bit campy when I first started watching it, like a little too cartoony. But then, I kept watching it, and I'm like, no, this is awesome. I love it. It's just, you gotta embrace the camp. You really do. That's all it is.
Yeah. I have a friend that he says that one thing he doesn't like about the current WWE is that he feels like everyone talks like anime characters, and I can definitely see it.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I'm coming for that belt. Like you put Naruto into the mix, and it's like it's no different.
Real dramatic. I don't mind. I watch anime here and there. It's okay.
Yeah, I like the over dramaticness of the promos,
Why
but then because
not?
then when you have promos that feel real, like what Seth Rollins gave last night on Raw, like that shit stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't feel like a gimmick. It doesn't feel like he's playing a character. It just feels like Seth Rollins being Seth Rollins, spitting what he believes in.
Fair. Yeah, I watch stuff like the mid card stuff and the lower tier, the superstars, and I kind of get turned off. But when I go to the main card stuff, it's awesome. Always, it's amazing. It's just. I love the WWE right now. The roster is the biggest it's ever been. The company is the biggest it's ever been. It is booming right now, and it is on the way to the biggest WrestleMania of all time, which I cannot wait for. I cannot wait for the new Elimination Chamber. That's gonna be fucking sick. I mean, the women's and the men's, you could tell. When I saw like the contestants for the men's Elimination Chamber, you could tell who was gonna win already. You know. And
that's gonna be Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, like in Bobby Lashley's match, it's like I know Bobby's gonna win. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff, like that. If my predictions are true, and like every A-lister is gonna beat everyone else, you know, and then that means that Elimination Chamber is probably gonna be the most stacked fucking chamber match in forever. Like it looks really fucking stacked, so I can't wait. It's gonna be a great fucking pay-per-view.
LA Knight just qualified yesterday.
Really? All right then, let's go. Yeah, I love it. I love him too. I
love LA Knight.
The only reason why I knew of his existence was because of and then I watched a few of his matches. Like, oh my god, he can turn on the audience like it's nobody's business, bro. I love him, man. He's great.
Yeah, he has charisma 100. Like,
oh yeah,
you can't deny it. Like, just how charismatic he is in the ring.
Bro, really respect this character. That's crazy, you know.
Yeah. He did.
Oh man, it just he kills it, man. And in the ring, he kills it too. He don't move like a 40-year-old man. He really don't.
Oh, he don't. He really don't.
He moves real good. You know what I mean? So hey, good for him. He's got the image. He's got the charisma. He's got the ring acumen. I really hope he wins a world title soon. Tighter. Yeah. You get my drift?
It only took him about 20 years to get to this.
Fucking hell.
The way he said it in an interview, it took 20 years to become an overnight success.
There you go. You get it. Yeah.
That's how it feels. Like all of a sudden, one day, people started cheering for him, and it's like, what the fuck?
Well, he hung in there. You know what I mean? That's it. Come on, say it's like when we're hard on ourselves as creators. You know, it's like, oh, why isn't this getting better? Why isn't the views climbing? It's like, bro, just let it happen. You know, let the magic happen.
And then when it does happen, it's like, man, this dude came out of nowhere. He's an overnight success. I've been doing this for a few years, but thanks.
Yeah, like there's a part of you that will always be bothered by that. It doesn't matter. You know, I can see that. Yeah. And one last thing, and I actually was really surprised by this because I didn't even see it. So I saw the last War Games match. It was the men's one. It was between what was it? It was the Bloodline. No, not the Bloodline. What was it?
Are you talking about this past one?
Judgment Day, wasn't it?
Judgment Day.
Yeah, Judgment Day versus a whole ring of superstars: Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso.
All the baby faces.
Yeah, basically. Pretty much. And Seth Rollins, like all the baby faces, and they were waiting on Randy. And brother, when fucking Rhea Ripley came out with that case, I'm like, oh fuck, no, wait a minute. Even though I already know it's like he's not gonna lose the championship because I saw Royal Rumble. Still, I was like, oh wait a minute. And then when she came out, they actually faked it. And it's like, no, actually, Randy's coming out. So they already flipped it on you once. You know what I mean? Yeah. Randy's coming out. He's doing his thing. A quintuple fucking vintage Orton. Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
People meme the shit out of that. Like, right when it happened, when he had Finn Balor in the DDT, it's like, yeah. And then he hit it. Like, what the fuck?
I love Randy. He doesn't care anymore. That's the thing, right? Like, he just goes all out. It doesn't matter. He loves it, you know? It's like they removed his filter. It's like he was always like kind of calm psychopathic. It's like, well, he snaps. Now he's just a fucking psycho. You know what I mean? Now he's just crazy. That's all he is, you know? I love it, man. Como se dice? Oh my god, the fucking RKO from the top of the cage. Oh my god.
Poor JD McDonough, bro.
JD when I saw
a punching bag.
Bro, you know my reaction to JD McDonough was when I saw all of them in line. I saw McDonough. I was like, who are you?
Like, he's just like the shortest dude there. No muscle. He's like,
brother, he's got more muscle than Dominic, to be frank. Anyway,
that's true.
I saw all of the people there, and I'm like, one of these things is not like the other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, he's the jobber. He just, somebody needed to be
Yeah.
there. So when I'm sorry, McDonough. It is what it is. So,
Yeah. I mean,
so
it's true, but he can sell his ass off. If I'm gonna give him
he
anything, he can
sells
sell
it.
his ass off.
He's
Yeah.
the guy who did it. You know what I mean? He's the guy who
Yeah.
jumped off the cage. You know, so there's respect
Yeah.
there. I could never do that in a million years. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So hey, there you go. There's your respect. Anyway, McDonough. When he got put up there, I'm like, yep, I was right. They fucking threw him off. The RKO, that was the craziest shit. I love it, man. I kind of like it when it's like, when it's not planned. I like it way better, but still, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that a lot. You know, it wasn't his best, but it's up there. It's a top 10.
Nah, it's just
Easy.
nice to see. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, man. And then, brother, guess what? I actually tuned out right after the match ended because they faked this again. I thought that they were going to...
Copyright logo?
Yeah, they faked this again, so I actually logged out. You know, thankfully, I'm going to say, he said, thankfully, I wasn't watching this live because if I was, I'd be so pissed because I missed it, right? So I went back because I didn't know. They faked us out twice. They gave us CM Punk right after the logo. Motherfucker. Yeah. The biggest, most unexpected return, I could probably say... up there with the top 5, arguably ever, easily up there with Edge's return in 2020. You know what I mean? Ridiculous. Just how hyped that crowd got. Probably one of the loudest pops ever. You know, because people couldn't shut up about CM Punk after he left WWE. He was everywhere, always, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, not only that, Survivor Series was in his hometown in Chicago, Illinois. So
they fucking did it.
Like, yeah. But it's crazy because according to Triple H, when they did the press conference after Survivor Series, he said that they didn't really sign anything until like the day of or like the day before, maybe. Like no one knew about it.
Wow. So it was just like that from the jump. It's like, oh, we didn't even need to hide it. It just happened. Like, oh, okay, throw him out there. That's probably why the logo was was happening because like it wasn't even scheduled, so the logo was supposed to come out anyway. So they put out the logo.
They just do that to fake you out. They've been doing that a lot more in the past few years, but it works.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember one of my friends, I was watching the pay-per-view. He logged out and went to sleep when he saw the copyright logo, and then he didn't find out about CM Punk until the next morning. So I was like, yeah, no, I don't log off until it says like presentation has concluded or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that notion because I didn't know that was a thing. Once again, I'm so happy I watched it after the fact when I already knew CM Punk was back. All right, because if I watched that shit live, I would have been so fucking pissed the next morning. No way I missed the live reaction. I was on my feet at the end of the match.
Until they do the hype package at the end because they do like a recap of the whole show after the show ends. Wait till that comes up and then you can log out. Pretty
much the live feed cuts off.
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotcha. Fucking hell, dude. Nah, it was amazing. War Games was awesome. These new crop of superstars are awesome. Rhea Ripley's got really good acumen in the ring as well. You know, it's just so great to witness all these new superstars that actually deserve their spots. You know what I mean? It's refreshing. It really is, and I know that I'm at least gonna be a part of the WWE stuff for at least a year or two. You know what I mean? We'll see how interested I am in a few years, but right now I'm breathing it all in, man. It's great. It's so fucking cool.
I'm coming up on a year of being consistently, involved in watching WWE. Because for me, it started with WrestleMania 39. So basically, once 40 comes around, that's when it will be a year for me.
Fair enough. I mean, I've been hearing that the last couple of years have been fucking downright amazing. Like the best, the best years. So hey, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't watching it, but I was hearing a lot about what was happening with WrestleMania 38 the year before, because that's when Roman became the double champion, and I was that like at the time it's like, oh, that's like the biggest match ever, even though it was like Brock Lesnar versus Roman for like the 80th time. So I was there, but I wasn't. And then I was hearing a lot about, the Vince McMahon scandals in 2022. And then he retired, so Triple H was now in charge of creative. And then as soon as I heard that, that's kind of when I became interested. It's like, okay, Triple H is running things now. Like, I kind of wonder how different it is. And then the first PLE he did was SummerSlam. And as soon as SummerSlam ended, all I was saying on social media was it was a banger. Like, Bayley came back, Io got called up from NXT, Dakota Kai came back. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, it's like the whole landscape shift in a single pay-per-view. I was like, what the fuck? Like, Triple H really took over. He
Oh
was
my
cooking. He
god.
really took over. And then so I just kept hearing a lot of shit here and there. And then when it got to Royal Rumble of last year with the whole bloodline story with Roman Reigns, that's when I became more curious and started watching YouTube videos. And then the first pay-per-view I watched live was WrestleMania.
Oh man. Well,
So
now my first ever live WrestleMania, not my first ever live PLE is going to be Elimination Chamber, and I think that's
yeah.
when I think my first ever pay-per-view event was WrestleMania 20. I think it was 26. It was Undertaker versus Triple H the first time, and so
That's
yeah.
27.
27, my bad. Okay,
Yeah.
so WrestleMania 27, Undertaker versus Triple H the first time, and brother, it was such a great matchup. Como say, so Undertaker. First of all, I gotta give props to Undertaker. I've never officially formally done it. Undertaker, brother, top 5, easy. Without a shadow of a doubt, he is one of the best, if not the best superstar of all time. He has stuck with the company for so many years, consistently put out bangers in generations where there were almost no bangers. You know what I mean? Like, he knew what he was doing. And brother, he was so stubborn near the end of his streak, man. He didn't want to leave. You know, it's like, oh, I still want to fight there. I'm still some of the best. And even though, you know, his matches did indeed waver, I don't think they stained his legacy at all. I think that streak is eternal. I feel like his career is eternal, and they will be talking about him a century from now. Undertaker is simply undeniably one of the best ever to do it. All right, and as a child, when I watched him, I remember the first time I watched him, I was so fucking scared. It was him versus Batista at WrestleMania. I think it was
23.
23. Hey, you got it. Yeah. And oh, what a classic match that was. It was a sleeper match too. People thought it would be all right. It was fucking awesome. It was one of the best, you know. I remember watching that match again and again and again on like this like free advertisement channel on TV. That match and Floyd Mayweather versus Big Show. It was
24.
crazy. Yeah, so I loved those matches. They were a great time. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels was probably the most emotional fucking rivalry I've ever seen ever. Like,
oh yeah,
Shawn Michaels with his obsession with Undertaker streak and how he needs to be the best was ultimately his demise. And then his friend tried to avenge him, but even fucking Triple H couldn't do it. In my humble opinion, I think that the streak should have ended at 20-0. The end of an era match, it should have been, that's it. No more.
That would have been perfect.
Because at the end of the day, how much more build-up did Brock really need? Come on now.
Yeah.
Brock winning the match at WrestleMania and breaking Undertaker's streak for me was kind of dumb. At the end of the day, I don't think the match should have even been made because I believe Undertaker got hurt and they might have called an audible. I don't think that's ever been confirmed, has it?
I think it was confirmed that Vince called the finish before they went out there. But Undertaker did suffer a concussion during the match, but that wasn't like what led to him losing at Mania. Like it was planned for him to lose at Mania.
Fair.
But he did have a concussion during the match, and he says he doesn't remember it. So
well, I think that's dumb booking, in my opinion. And with that being said, I did like Paul Heyman's talk about it. It's like we already built this guy up so much. He's destroyed everybody in front of him, and then he beats the streak. He's unbeatable. He's undefeatable. He's the best, you know. Except that they threw that away on Roman when they were forcing him down our throats at the time. They threw that away on Roman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me personally, the whole Vince McMahon booking thing, we've all known for the longest time that he's been extremely out of touch with fans, and that was one of the moments. If it was my decision, it would have ended at 20-0. Undertaker comes back for SummerSlam, cool. Undertaker come back for this, but he doesn't main event another WrestleMania. Because at the end of the day, 20-0. First of all, good round number, right?
Yeah.
But the biggest one is that end of an era. That name, that tagline did not mean anything because Undertaker continued to fight. I understand it was the end of Triple H and it was the end of Shawn Michaels and it had a lot of symbolism, but I just don't think it would have meant as much if Undertaker continued to fight. I feel like that was the end of his stuff anyway. He did win fights afterwards, but they were mostly squash matches, no? You know?
No, the only squash match was against John Cena.
Didn't he beat Bray Wyatt?
It's just that he did, but that wasn't a squash match.
Okay,
it's just that match didn't have like the weight that it needed. Really, like that should have been more of a passing of the torch match, and it wasn't.
Well, let me rephrase then. Were there any other like serious matches after the end of an era match besides Brock?
Besides Brock, he fought Bray Wyatt the year after Mania 32. He fought Shane McMahon in Hell in a Cell.
That's not serious.
No, he fought Roman at 33, where he lost again.
Yeah, he lost again.
34 was the squash match against Cena. 35, he wasn't at Mania 35. And 36, Pandemic Mania was his last match.
What's his last match? Which I agree with. That match was good. Yeah. I like that was his final match. What I'm saying, in a perfect world, it should have been 20-0. That's what I think. And,
yeah, no, I mean there weren't any 5-star classics after the end of an era match. But it's Undertaker, you know. He loves the business. He wanted to keep coming back. And then of course with with new talent constantly coming in, it's more people for him to work with. But yeah, it wasn't the same.
I just think that putting someone over, it should have been at another event. Because, I mean, it's the fucking Undertaker. I understand that the streak is legendary and nothing lasts forever. You know, but even if they did do it, why did they do it on Brock? Why did they do it on Brock?
From what I know, I think Taker wanted it to be Roman.
It would make sense because he was the main guy. Like, if they did it on Roman, I wouldn't be as pissed. But Brock?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, you know...
At least the first time.
Yeah, say what you want about Brock winning, but they didn't waste it. Because he squashed Cena at SummerSlam after as well. And that's when everyone was like, okay, Brock is kind of a menace, you know?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, if Brock would have lost the second time, I wouldn't be as mad. But he won the first time. That's dumb. I don't like it.
You think it should have been a rematch?
I'm sorry. No, I thought if Roman won the first one and then Brock beat him,
okay,
and then Brock beat him on the second loss. Yeah, that's what I meant. If they switch places, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So, but you know, Brock winning it after he already earned so much. You know, he already beat everyone else. I didn't enjoy that, especially after Goldberg came in and beat him. Like, really? I understand. I love Goldberg. Don't get me wrong. He comes in, he spears somebody, boom, boom, bam. At WrestleMania, or what was it? SummerSlam? What was it?
Survivor Series,
whatever it was. It doesn't matter. My point is this. He had all this fucking buildup, and then he beat the streak, and then Goldberg comes in and just fucks him up. And Goldberg, how many fucking matches did he do? Like 4? I don't know, man.
I don't know. He won the Universal Championship like twice, which is stupid as fuck.
I don't know, man. On Goldberg, come on, man. Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I like Goldberg. Do a few cameos. That's it. That's all it should have been. You know?
Why did they give him the Universal Championship twice, bro?
Ridiculous.
He beat Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens was in the middle of probably the hottest story going into WrestleMania 33. And then he beat The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, when he was kind of at, the top.
Just
he'd already,
people,
been through terrible booking decisions, and that loss to Goldberg just cemented it even further. That was like, yeah, this character's dead. Like,
that man was just burying superstars. It's ridiculous, you know? It's the perfect example of what The Rock was trying to do, except the WWE was wise this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? Oh, it's ridiculous. What can you do? What can you do? Anyway, these are all just conversations coming out of blind memory. It's been a long time. But as far as I'm concerned, 20-0, Undertaker, perfect world. That's what I believe. And that's it.
Yeah. There's been a lot of missed opportunities, I think, just with the streak in general. Like, when Roman beat him that second time... That's when they should have turned Roman heel.
Shit, that would have been.
Why did they wait like an extra 4 years?
Yeah, well, because they didn't know how it worked. They didn't get it. They didn't have that idea, motherfuckers.
And Roman was already getting booed the shit out of. Like, people hated Roman after he beat Undertaker. Like, literally, the Raw after that WrestleMania, he was getting booed for like 10 minutes straight. He couldn't say a word.
Oh, yeah.
And then instead of cutting a promo, all he said was, "This is my yard now," and then walked out.
What a bitch.
You should have turned him heel right there. You should have turned him heel right there. That would have been the perfect moment. And then even then, he kept bringing it up during promo. He would have beef with somebody, and he'll just bring up, "I retired the Undertaker at WrestleMania." It's like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Seriously. It's like he's just some old man that's been beaten by Brock already. Like, it's a lot less poignant. If Roman was the only person to have beaten Undertaker at WrestleMania, it would have been way more powerful. Because then it's like, oh, fuck. And then he retired? Oh, fuck. You know?
Like that would have been way different, but no, it's not what happened.
It's wasted. It's wasted on Brock Lesnar, brother. In a perfect world, 20-0. In a second perfect world, it would be Brock Lesnar lost, Roman won it. All right, that's
Hmm.
it. That's it, in my opinion. Fuck.
Well, I have a question for you about like
Mhm.
current WWE. How you feeling about WrestleMania being 2 nights instead of one?
Oh,
You think it's like great?
well,
You think it's a
considering
good decision?
considering how massive the roster is, I mean, there's a lot of shit to be done here. And instead of
Hmm.
making it a 5-hour show or cutting down storylines just so it could service the time, fuck that. Just do 2 nights.
Yeah,
I see why they did it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I liked it.
At the end of the day, I don't mind it. I don't know why people would be against that. I mean, there's more content at the end of the day because there's more fucking storylines, more roster,
Hmm.
more fans, about more everything. Everything is bigger. So imagine sitting down for 1 5 to 6 hour show or just splitting it into 2 nights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's like the WrestleMania, but the last WrestleMania that was one night.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like there's a million matches on that card, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they had like Triple H versus Batista, I think, was at that WrestleMania.
Hmm.
Um, and then I keep thinking the main event was Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. It was not the main event. It was just one of like in the middle of the match. I mean, the middle of the night.
The
So
middle
I
of the
was like,
card,
oh,
yeah.
yeah. So it's just a random ass match. The main event was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Ronda, the triple threat match
Mm-hmm.
for both women's titles. I don't there's like so many matches in that WrestleMania that I can never remember like what happened.
Jesus, yeah.
The opening match was fucking Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship.
I mean, wow.
That's the opening fucking match. Like what the hell?
Well, they've been doing really good openers, WWE, for the pay-per-views. They've been doing some
Yeah.
really good openers, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Chris Jericho said once, if you're not the main event, you want to be the opener, and if you're not
Mm.
the opener, you want to be the semi-main event.
Right. If you had to choose.
Yeah,
My
and then the
thing.
rest is just eh.
Fair. I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, when you think of a long ass event, everything kind of blurs together, and I mean, it just becomes exhausting for the crowd. I mean, you mentioned that before, that just crowd members
Hmm.
sitting for 6 hours in one area. By the time the main event comes around, it's like, yay!
Yeah, pretty
You
much
know?
that Royal Rumble, it was like that. When I went to Payback last year, it was kind of like that too.
It's just
Even
it
though
is how it
that's not because the main events were bad, it's just we were tired. That's it. That's the only reason the crowd is not as energetic when you get to the main event.
They bursting, bro. That's it. They bursting. But I tell you
Yeah.
right now, at fucking War Games, everyone boosted with adrenaline when CM Punk came in. Ain't no way!
Oh yeah,
Ain't no way! Holy shit! You know.
yeah. That shit woke everyone up. You
Yeah.
hear the static, and the thing is, I guarantee you, people are already leaving the arena.
Oh
People are
yeah.
already fucking walking out of the arena, and
They
then you hear
were.
like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, the music- yeah.
Oh my god! Look in my eyes! Ain't no way! Jesus Christ! It's amazing.
Wrestling's cool. It's just cool.
It's so fucking cool. I can tell you that right now. You look at these guys. Let me tell you something about WWE versus like real combat sports. I love combat sports. It's great. MMA, boxing, whatnot. But there is something about showmanship that simply will never be beaten. All right. At the end of the day, when you have the level of presentation that WWE has, the showmanship that they have, the drama that they add into their storylines, yeah, you can say, oh, but this is fake. It's scripted. But brother, it's some of the best fucking TV you could ever be a part of. And the fact that they blur the lines and try to make you feel like it's real, even though you suspend your belief, it's obvious that it's not. Like, these aren't entirely real scenarios. It's still extremely entertaining to watch. And I have an argument against that, in fact. When people say, oh, it's fake, why would you watch fake wrestling? It's like kids playing. Let me tell something to Drew, okay? What about when you watch a fucking action movie? When you watch fucking Sylvester Stallone whoop some ass? That motherfucker's 65. He ain't whooping shit, all right? The reason why we watch that shit and enjoy it is because of our suspension of disbelief. Watching a fucking action movie and watching the WWE are amongst the same vein. We suspend our belief and we get immersed in a story that we know is scripted, but we still enjoy it. It is what it is. Why do you enjoy reading books? Why do you enjoy playing video games? Oh, but these are all fake. Because they tie into real life. It is what it is, all right? We draw something from it, whether it's entertainment, escapism, actual meaning, whatever it is, we are drawn to it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So-
And I feel like, people calling it fake really tears down the
Yeah.
athleticism of it too, because they get hurt for real. I mean,
Oh,
Rey
yeah.
Mysterio just had knee surgery. CM Punk literally just tore his tricep. Randy Orton was gone for 2 years because he had to get back surgery.
But we're not just
Edge
talking...
was gone for 9 years because he needed double fusion. Like these guys get injured for real.
Oh yeah, no, and I'll point this out really quick. People will probably come back at that like, oh, but stuntmen get hurt, people in the circus get hurt. They're like, oh, we understand that, but let's not talk about the injuries that people go to the hospital for. How about we just talk about the injuries on the day-to-day basis, brother? When you see somebody get slapped across the head with a steel chair, guess what? That was a real chair. It was real metal. Mm-hmm. He got snapped in the fucking head with a real fucking chair. Okay.
Yeah.
When people get whipped with the kendo stick, that wood fucking stick, and just that sound that it's making when it's hitting him, that's real. It's not somebody hitting a little brick in the corner. No, it's real. When someone gets chopped in the chest and you can hear that shit from fucking Australia, that's real. All right, everything you see
can hear
there,
that shit from the nosebleeds.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, all that shit that you're seeing on there, all that fucking combat, while it is indeed scripted, it's real. Alright, so let me just point it out. Now, of course, there are some really botched moves, and some shit looks really fake. Don't get me wrong, but don't give me that shit that, oh, they're just actors, and this is all pussy shit. That's not what it is. You couldn't last a fucking day in their world, and that's the truth. So don't say it's pussy shit, because you don't know what it is. Fuck out of here. All right?
That ring ain't a trampoline. That shit is wood.
It's wood, bitch. All right? And that shit hurt. All right? Now, that being said, como se dice, you are allowed to have reservations and negative opinions about the WWE. Oh, it's kind of hard for me to get into, because it's scripted, and it's kind of hard for me to get into it. That's why I prefer MMA. That's fair. That's a based opinion. And, como se dice, and I see where you're coming from, all right? But when you come at me with the it's pussy shit, these guys aren't real fighters, fuck off, okay? Fuck off. No. Get out of my face with that dumbass opinion, because at the end of the day, you just being narcissistic. You love hating shit, all right? Get out of my face. That's all it is. Anyway.
Anyway, wrestling is cool as fuck.
Yeah, right, exactly. Hopefully they left the fucking podcast by now, motherfuckers. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Don't worry about it. You're allowed to not like WWE 100% without a shadow of a doubt. But don't be saying that these fighters aren't fighters, bro. Because you take one of them chops from Gunther, you gonna be crying, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's for real.
Honestly, I'm gonna just say this. Like, UFC ain't that different. It's big sweaty men hugging each other. Like, it's the same shit.
Come on, guys. Let's talk about it. For real. Yeah, that's true. I mean, watch Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of Randy Orton in the middle of the ring, making him fucking bleed from the noggin, and tell me that shit is fake. Please. No, go ahead. Yeah. And then while you're at it, take some shots from Brock, okay? See if that's fake, motherfucker.
Yeah. Only difference is wrestlers go for like 20 plus minutes, while a UFC fight can end in 30 seconds.
Yeah, for real. That's it. Come on now. Don't fuck with me, all right? That being said, like I said, this isn't hate or shade to UFC. I love the UFC. I love watching MMA. Great. I love watching boxing even though sometimes that shit can get boring. I still love it here and there. You know what I mean? It's great. The good matches are really good. Don't get me wrong, but I love WWE too, and I will defend it just like I defend those sports. It is what it is. What can you do? But that's it. That's all I have. WWE, amazing time right now. More fans than they've ever had. It's more inclusive than it ever has been. And, brother, I just can't wait for Elimination Chamber. Because it's going to be stacked. It's going to be stacked, man.
I'm excited. Dude, Australian crowd. I already know they're going to deliver. It's an international show. Those crowds never don't deliver.
They be singing the songs, bro. Yeah.
Dude, I love international crowds, and it sucks though, because it's like we got to go by their time.
Yeah.
so
we gotta watch exactly. You got it. 5 fucking a.m. Ridiculous.
Actually, yeah, it's like 4:35. I think 4:30 is kickoff show for Elimination Chamber.
Oh man, yikes. I get off at fucking 10, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah,
it's okay though. I'll stay up. Got some caffeine in my veins. It's okay. With that being said, I think I have everything I wanted to say about WWE. It was great fucking shows that I was seeing. Royal Rumble was fucking sick. Cody being the champion, he wins. Obviously. And the presser was really fucking good. They blurred the lines really well. I cannot wait for SmackDown, brother. Oh my god, The Rock's coming back. Roman. Oh shit, that's if they make it. You know what I mean? But hey, yeah.
I love when Roman came out in the press conference and was like, "Look, guys, he showed up to work."
Whoa! Indeed. Oh man, But that's it. That's all I have. I love the WWE. I cannot wait for Bloodline Rock. Oh, fuck.
It's gonna hit
Yeah.
different, and it's a double taping next week, so he's gonna be there 2 weeks in a row.
Yay! I like that. I like that. All right. So yeah, that's all I got. There is something else I wanted to address. The Deadpool and Wolverine trailer.
Yeah,
Oof. So I watched it.
been the talk of the town.
It has, and so let me just display my thoughts, and then we'll get to you because I've seen your thoughts on Twitter, and
Yeah,
I will say this: I watched it. It screams big budget, and that's a good thing. And they kept it vague, which is a pretty decently good thing. But that being said, it didn't do enough for me to be excited. To be frank,
yeah.
it's like I don't think it's gonna be bad at all. But from
No.
what I saw, it's like you didn't really show me much. You know what I mean? Like there's not much to go on. There wasn't anything that really made me like, oh fuck yeah, I can't wait. The little Disney joke was cool, but that was like 5 seconds of a 2.5-minute trailer. You got to do more than that. You know what I mean? Besides that, like it's just what I'm looking at is like, should be fun. But that's it. Will it save the MCU? I doubt it, man. I'm being frank. I really hope it does. I hope it does. I love Marvel. I'm a massive fanboy. But brother, I'm getting sick of these Marvel movies. I really am. They're not even horrible. They're just mixed bags. And I don't want to go out to the theaters for mixed bags. You know what I'm saying? Me personally. How do you feel about Deadpool versus... not versus, just Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool versus Wolverine would be kind of crazy.
Hey, yo, it would.
So, Deadpool and Wolverine, I fucking love Deadpool.
Right.
Deadpool is my second favorite Marvel character.
We love Deadpool.
And then I would probably say Wolverine is probably my third. Like, he's up there, too.
He's amazing. I think he's number one for me.
And then the fact that this is, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, great fucking actors, both got a history. And, we've wanted to see this team up for a long time.
Easy.
I'm excited that we're finally going to see them together. But overall, the trailer, like the movie as a whole, like you said, it didn't do enough. I think Deadpool and Wolverine will be a good movie. It's going to be a fun movie. But the trailer didn't show me anything that I didn't already know.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem with with leaks and a lot of the shit going around social media, a lot of the news. It kind of ruined the trailer for me a little bit because it's like, oh, the TVA is there. I knew they were already going to be in the movie. It's like it ruined the hype that I think the trailer would have given me. If I would have known nothing about Deadpool and Wolverine, then I would have been like, I'm going to see that day one. This was a cool trailer. Like, I want to watch that movie. And it still was a cool trailer, but it didn't do anything to excite me because it didn't show me anything that I don't already know about the movie.
You're right. You're 100% right. I was just going to make that point. Conversation. You get it. Is that if I had no context to what the movie was going to be initially, because Twitter was all over that shit, brother, I would have once again, day one, 100%. Oh, I'm gonna see that shit, no problem. But now that I know, it's kind of like, who cares? But the thing is, it wasn't even Twitter. It wasn't even Twitter. It was Ryan Reynolds posting a YouTube video about it a year ago. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we knew what was happening.
Even then, that's fine, I think, because that's how Ryan Reynolds does marketing. I'm cool with it. I'm fine knowing that Wolverine's going to be in the movie, but the fact that they had to keep him a secret in the trailer, I think is kind of a dumb decision. Have Wolverine in the trailer more. Add an extra 30 seconds to that trailer. Give us a little more Wolverine, and I think I would have been a lot more excited for what the movie had to offer.
That's a good point. I think I would agree with that because at the end of the day, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. What the fuck?
Yeah,
you're making me think
just Deadpool.
You're making me think that Wolverine is barely in the movie, and I don't think that's the case. But that's what you presented to me. You know what I mean? So I hope that's not the case. I pray that's not the case. I hope Wolverine's in it for most of it. You know what I mean? Alongside Deadpool. But with the trailer that you presented me, as far as I'm concerned, he's in it for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like. And I hope that's not the case. And I'm not saying it is. But brother, that's what you presented to me. So let's cross our fingers and pray to the Lord up above. All right.
And also, I think the jokes in the trailer didn't really land for me either.
Yeah, just one. The Disney part. That's it. That's all I got me.
I mean, that Disney one didn't land, and a lot of the jokes in the trailer were just the fact that Deadpool knows he's going to the MCU, and that he's excited about it. And that's fine. But I feel like that's just how Ryan Reynolds has been on social media the whole time anyway. So it just felt like Ryan Reynolds just doing his normal thing. Like it didn't feel new. It's just he's going to the MCU. We know.
I just kind of wish there was more about the movie. You know what I mean? It's like it was. If anything was more meta. You know what I mean? Like it's just this is an announcement. You know, like it felt like more of an announcement than a trailer of a movie. You know what I'm saying? Now that I think about it, it's just like, hey, Wolverine's in this movie. I'm coming to the MCU. Okay, bye. That's it. That's all I want.
And then, like, a lot of people on Twitter were going crazy for, like, that reload sequence in the trailer where he's, like, reloading both his guns in like, that badass way. And, you know, it does look cool, but as someone who saw Argyle in theaters a week ago, it doesn't look anything different than what I would have seen in that movie.
Damn.
Personally. So, like, to me, it just looked like, reloading his guns is cool, but it's like, that's just a normal action movie thing.
Yeah, that's not massive. I don't know people. I did like the splits in the elevator. That's something they're like, okay, that's character right there.
That was funny as fuck.
That was great.
That made me laugh more than the Disney joke.
Fair.
Because there's no reason for him to do the splits.
Because that's exactly, because that's Deadpool, right? Like, we enjoyed that. That's Deadpool. So just show more Deadpool humor. But that's the thing. They don't want to ruin it. You know, they don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
I don't.
They're in that weird middle ground of like just I want them to show more but don't show too much.
Yeah,
they gotta find the sweet spot.
At the end of the day, I'm still gonna watch it. I just hope it's good. I am gonna wait for reviews though. I'm not gonna watch it day one. I'm gonna wait like a week and then like if people.
I think I'm gonna watch it day one just to satisfy my inner child.
You work at a movie theater. That's easy.
Yeah, that too. But also, you know, I gotta satisfy my inner child. You know, this is a team up I've been wanting since X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That is very true. That is very
true. Yeah, I think.
Well, hey, if it's really good, you'll rewatch it and we'll watch it together. You know what I mean? Afterwards.
But I mean, I rewatch movies a lot anyway.
That's what you do. So yeah. But it's okay.
That's my thing.
I'm not subjecting you to anything. You would have done it anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So yeah, it's just overall, I'm not too excited by the trailer, but the concept is amazing and it's Ryan Reynolds' baby. So as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be pretty good. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I do not think that he is going to be Marvel Jesus unless he is involved in every single MCU project from here on in. And if that's the case, okay.
I just want them to make him the new Stan Lee, to be honest. Just have a Deadpool cameo in every movie.
Fuck yeah! If that's the case, you are Marvel Jesus, my friend. Good job.
That's honestly what I want. Like, just, you know, because all the cameos are jokes anyway. It's not going to take away from the tone of the movie. If you just have Deadpool show up for like 2 seconds, break the fourth wall, and then leave. Like, that's all I need.
If not Deadpool, Wade Wilson. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, just in his weird scarred face.
Yeah, like, that works. It's like, I have someone react to it. It's like, oh, you look like a avocado. It's like shut up. All right, I've heard that before. Yeah. Oh, so original. You know? Yeah. Some shit, right?
Yeah.
But, como se dice? Besides the kind of less exciting trailer, it's still pretty fucking cool what I'm looking at, and I hope it's good. I really do. I need to see these Disney Plus shows, man. I don't think they'll be essential because I'm for sure they're like just bring it up again what that like SWAT team was, but I haven't seen any of the Disney Plus shows, so I'm not sure. Well, I have seen WandaVision. Oh yeah, that's it.
The TVA.
Yeah, they're like a Loki thing, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see Loki. I hear that's really good.
It's the best Marvel show.
There you go. I mean, that's not
the best MCU Marvel show.
I mean, that's not the highest bar, you know, but it's okay.
I can't even say MCU Marvel show now because Daredevil's canon. It's the second best Marvel show. It's the second best Marvel show. Daredevil's number one.
Can I gush you about Daredevil for a minute? Oh my god, Daredevil.
Of course.
Daredevil. Oh, let me just say something to you right now, okay? That is literally, bar none, the best Marvel TV show ever made. Ever fucking made. Netflix hit it big with that one. It was so fucking good they had to make a universe surrounding it, okay?
Yeah.
It was so fucking good. I mean, como se dice, I cannot describe to you how well it is unless you've seen it already, because it's been years since I've seen it, but that's how good it is. Those scenes stick with you, bro. Those seasons stuck with me. And every now and again, I go back and I listen to the theme and I watch a few scenes and I'm like, man, this show was some of the best television I've ever seen. So well competently written, the twist, everything so fucking smart. Everybody acts like a human being rather than just a caricature. You know, it's pretty much the exact opposite of what the MCU is. You know what I mean? Now, while I love the MCU and the movies, don't get me wrong, Daredevil felt real. Daredevil felt grounded, and Daredevil had a lot of emotional stakes that did not take 20 years to develop. You know what I'm saying? So At the end of the day, I say that if you truly appreciate cinema, if you truly appreciate good TV drama, if you're a fan of Breaking Bad, the first 8 seasons of The Walking Dead, como se dice, Game of Thrones before the final season, if you just love really good fucking drama, action TV shows, you cannot go wrong with the 3 seasons of Daredevil. Okay? Now, do I think the new Daredevil season will be good?
We'll see. We will see. It's very, very sketchy.
I'm not excited, especially after what the fuck Echo and Hawkeye did. You know what I mean? I'm just not excited. You know? I mean, first of all, they treat Kingpin like a bitch, brother. Like, if they're treating Vincent fucking D'Onofrio, all right, as a second fiddle, all right, I can't imagine how they're gonna treat Matt Murdock. I'm just being frank. Jesus. Yeah, at least he fucked She-Hulk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say they haven't fucked Matt Murdock yet. He was pretty good in She-Hulk.
Jesus Christ. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I love this cameo in Spider-Man No Way Home. Awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great.
But I just don't. Just because they haven't fucked him yet, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence. You know what I mean?
They haven't fucked them yet, all right? Yet being the key word of that sentence.
Brother, I mean, how do you fuck over Kingpin? He was legit, like, at least, he's in competitor for best part of that show. At least top 3, all right?
That's the only reason I watched Hawkeye. Because
exactly.
You know how social media is. Everyone speculates, there's leaks and shit. Everyone knew Kingpin was going to be in the show, and then they kept teasing it in the show, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting and sitting through this boring ass show waiting for him to show up, and he shows up and he's just like wearing a Hawaiian t-shirt and I was like, what the fuck is happening? He grabs Kate at one point and throws her against the wall. She flies back like an ungodly 20 feet, and I was like, when the fuck did Kingpin get superpowers? It's like I don't know, bro. And then they shot him in the face, and then I was like, all right, I don't give a shit then.
And they gave him these really crazy, they gave Daredevil like these really crazy powers in She-Hulk, you know what I mean? Which I respect it. You know, I respect that they're going for a more superpower-centric Daredevil because this is different, but now all of a sudden they're making the show canon, so I don't know how that works. I don't know. Maybe he got dropped in a vat of radioactive acid or something, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see.
Now he can see. That's their explanation. Just to see. You thought he was a good fighter when he was blind. Now he can see.
No,
he's just amazing at everything.
No, he fucking can't. Please, no.
Yeah, no, in She-Hulk, they definitely made him a lot more acrobatic, doing like quadruple moonsaults in it.
They had to CG him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of like Kingpin's strength in Hawkeye. They exaggerated the fuck out of them, and I don't like it. Because Daredevil, the whole point of Daredevil for me is I like how grounded it is.
Everything was practical. Everything, brother. Yeah. That fucking prison fight scene in season 3. And season 2 with the Punisher, but let's talk about season 3. Yeah. All right, there was a one fucking take. All right, that lasted what, 16 minutes, 14 minutes, something like that.
Something like that, like 11. I think it was like
one
11
take
to 12 minutes, something. It's impressive. He wasn't even in costume. First of all,
brother was out of costume, so it wasn't a stuntman. it was
not a stuntman.
Fucking Murdock. All right. And so they had his ass doing fucking double flips, jumping down staircases, all this crazy shit. And I'm like, this is cinema, bro. Cinema.
Not only that, it's a long take. It's not just fight scenes. They put dialogue in that bitch.
Yeah. People had to remember their lines.
Like, dude, what the fuck?
It was amazing. And I can't imagine how many times they did that shot, too. That's the thing.
Dude, I can't imagine. It must have taken so long.
It was just amazing, brother. And when I see shit like that, you know what I think? A dedication to the craft. I don't think, I'm making a pay. I don't think these people are thinking, I'm making a paycheck. I'm just doing my job. I'm thinking, I love the source material. I want to give the fans something they want. I want to do something different. I want to defy the laws of television. When I see shit like that, I'm like, put that motherfucker, the DOP, the director, the writers, put them up there with the top paid fucking people in their craft and give them more opportunities because they know what they're doing. But now we got rid of the OG writers for the new show, didn't we?
I think.
That's what I saw from a review a couple days ago. A video essay. They told me that, como se dice, the writers are no longer part of this Daredevil show.
Yeah, well, I know that when they were originally making Daredevil Born Again, it was not the original writers. But you know, I told you about how like they scrapped all of it and they're basically starting from scratch. Now it seems like this is just a season 4 to the Netflix one, which is why wasn't it that before?
I'm just.
Because now Bullseye's in it.
Have you seen his costume?
I have not seen his costume.
Don't! It's so bad! It's so bad!
I've only seen Daredevil's new costume.
Ooh, I like Daredevil's new. It's okay. I don't prefer it.
Yeah,
but it's
black
okay.
and red.
But
I'm about to look up Bullseye's costume.
oh god! Hey, bro, send me a still of that when you see it so I can use it. Oh god.
Is that it? What the fuck?
The blue, right?
Why does he look like?
What'd you say?
Why does he look like the Prowler, like
Brother!
a Walmart Prowler, with a ninja mask?
Bro, I prefer fucking 2003 Daredevil, the fucking bullseye on his head.
Fucking Colin Farrell Bullseye.
He looks like a generic ninja. That's how he looks like.
He looks like one of the ninjas that Batman beat up in Batman Begins.
Oh, Jesus
He looks like one of the guys that helped Bruce Wayne on his training in the Himalayas.
Oh, man. Oh, it looks bad.
Why is that?
Yeah, that's Bullseye. You're welcome.
All right, so let me get this straight, right? They had the perfect Bullseye costume in season 3. All you had to do was take the Daredevil suit and do it again. Just take out the horns and change the color.
That's it.
Why is he generic goon number 56?
That's what I'm saying, bro. What the fuck? I tell you this, I'm 100% behind the idea that he has maybe a total of 30 minutes to 50 minutes of screen time in the whole show. I'm behind that idea.
With that costume, I could see it.
Exactly! There's no way an 8 to 10 episode fucking season would have this guy on longer than an hour. That's it. That's it.
You know what he looks like, actually?
What?
You remember doing the Crimes in Progress on Spider-Man PS4? Those dudes in the tracksuits.
Hey, yo! I didn't see that. Oh, shit. Nah.
You know what? So maybe that's what he is in this Daredevil season. He's a crime in progress. Matt Murdock stops him.
He's
and
a cameo appearance. This motherfucker, you know?
He's gonna be in the opening scene, just like, you ruined my life, Daredevil. And then he gets his ass beat in 2 seconds, and it's like, all right, now for the real plot, guys.
Brother, I know damn well that in the clip, I'm gonna show that still when you said, "Is this it?" It's gonna be
Dude. I don't know what I was expecting, but it fucking was not that.
It wasn't that, yeah. I was thinking something all
Jesus
black,
Christ.
maybe the symbol on the chest, you know, something like that, right?
They
But
didn't even have the symbol on him.
but this is
It's like they gave him a costume, but then they stopped when they got to the pants.
for real. It's like your generic military member. That's it.
Yeah.
Can I at least have a branch? No.
It's such a disconnect between the top and bottom half of his costume.
Man looks like a ninja mercenary. That's crazy. Yo.
Bro, the costumes in Madam Web look better than that shit.
Bruh, you didn't just say that. Oh, you disrespecting him now. Yo. Speaking of
I
Madam
hope
Web,
that's a prototype costume.
brother, for real, there's no way that was the final draft, and they were just like, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah, ain't no way that was the final
I hope
draft.
they give him a character arc and he gets his costume in like the last episode.
That's what I'm
Jesus
thinking.
Christ,
That's what I'm thinking. Hell, I prefer fucking Murdoch's first costume, the all black rags. I prefer that because at least it looks real. What is this?
And
What
yo,
the
hot
fuck
take,
is this?
I kind of prefer the black, the rags Matt Murdock over the devil suit.
He's
I'm
so
just saying.
fucking cool. I can be honest with you there too. I prefer that too because he feels what's the word, vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, dude, in season 3, when they went back to that, except he added the fucking ropes around his wrist, like the Muay Thai rope. Oh my god, it was over. I was like, this is the best fucking suit.
That fight scene with Kingpin was so good. I beat you. This city beat you. Like yeah.
And weirdly, I think the Daredevil costume looked better on the Bullseye actor than it did on Charlie Cox.
Hey,
Like, Charlie looks great as Daredevil.
I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know.
It might be a hot take. I'm just saying. I think the Bullseye actor, like in the Daredevil suit, looked fucking badass.
Fair.
Like I don't know if it was just the fact that we were seeing like the black suit Daredevil versus normal Daredevil, but damn,
He was menacing. He was definitely
he was.
100% menacing. But I see this now, and I'm like, what is the? You know what I bet is that this will no. They will not be anywhere near as dark, even if it's rated R. It doesn't matter, or TVMA.
Yeah.
I will not be anywhere near as dark. It will not be anywhere near as grounded. And one thing that I will point out is just like in The Descent, where the sequel is extremely well lit compared to the first one, which completes the defeats the entire purpose of the first movie. This one will also be more lit up and vibrant, as not as dark and gritty as the first three seasons of Daredevil. In other words, this is going to be a fucking R-rated show made for kids. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I think that's exactly how the season of Daredevil is going to go. If anything, I mean, all of this is really just because they don't have the original guys involved.
Mm-hmm.
The people that worked on the Netflix Daredevil, they made that shit from the ground up.
Goated.
It felt authentic. It felt real, not just in a visual aesthetic, but in terms of writing, the characters felt like real people. And I think this is going to lean more into the campiness of Daredevil, which I'm fine with,
It's just
as
not
long
as
as the writing is still there. But I don't.
it will never achieve what it was. Like, I'm sure it could be entertaining. I'm sure it could be fine, but it will never be what it was.
Yeah, and I mean, like even just looking at Daredevil's suit, it's the red is a lot more vibrant, pops out a lot more, and it really does give you that feeling that the color palette's going to be a bit more saturated.
Yeah.
Less grounded, more comic booky.
And I don't
Which
like that.
it could work, but I don't know. As I guess you could make the excuse this is not officially Daredevil season 4 because in a way it's like a
They're just
reboot.
remaking it. Well, my thing is this, right? And what I love here is that at the end of the day, in our own head canon, we can just expel season 4 as an elsewhere story, right? And
Yeah.
just like
I
how
do that all the time anyway.
exactly, right? Like just how we look at how Star Wars 7, 8, and 9 isn't canon. It's just a little elsewhere story. That's how we can think about this. Like, and here's the thing: I'm sure when it comes out, I pray to God it's not bad. I'd like to think that it's just going to be okay, and that's fair. But it's just not anywhere near as good as the first three. All right, and here's the thing: this is the biggest injustice. Okay, Sweeto. Biggest injustice that will happen when this fourth season comes out is that people are going to watch that season and then still never watch the original Daredevil show.
Yep.
They will see the watered down, diluted version of Daredevil, and they will never see the original. But they will think of the diluted Daredevil as the best version of Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. I could see that for sure.
Could you imagine?
What I really hope for is that this Daredevil makes people want to go back and watch seasons 1 through 3.
Yes, just like Back for Blood did for Left 4 Dead, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, like talking about the Netflix Daredevil, like the first scene that popped into my head was probably the first. It's the first scene with Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock when he's in the confessional talking to the priest, and he gives a whole monologue about his dad, and then it's like, are you sure how this works? Like, do you have a sin, to confess? And it's just like, I'm not asking for forgiveness for what I've done. I'm asking forgiveness for what I'm about to do. And then immediately it cuts to him as Daredevil in the dead of night, beating on thugs.
Yeah.
You can't get a better opening than that. You can't get a better opening. That's how you start a show.
That's what Daredevil is all about. As soon as you see that scene, you're thinking these writers know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's great, man.
And it's just like the performance of that monologue.
Oh, don't even.
It really just leans into what I said of they feel like real people.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Murdock feels like a dude you could walk by in the street.
Mm-hmm. Same with Foggy.
And then his relationship with Foggy, his relationship with Foggy makes the show. I mean, there's a whole episode dedicated to just their friendship in season 1, which is perfect. It's probably one of my favorite episodes in the whole show. And it's just like Foggy brings out the lighter side of Matt Murdock, and then Daredevil's like the darker side of him. And it's just, I love the dynamic between the two actors. And then you add in Karen Page into the mix, and she has a whole subplot, and she's just as interesting and well written as the other two.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many layers in that show and so many good characters. Even a character like Ben Urich, who's only in season 1 stands out, bro.
Brother, for real, what I love about that show, and this is the biggest thing for me, is that they tried to do everything but the superhero route throughout the entire show. They tried to take down Kingpin politically, financially. They tried to do all these things. Reporters were trying to investigate him. They interviewed his mother. All of that stuff. They were trying to take him down, but they never could. Daredevil was the only way. And they really brought that to you. Kingpin's introduction is so fucking good. I'm sorry, but what I got was businessman, evil, demented, and insecure. That's all I got from that fucking scene. His introduction was, "Oh, you failed me. That's crazy. Oh, you want to insult me too? Go fuck yourself." Bah, 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 with the car door and shit. Like, I'm sorry, but how fucking mental that introduction was. And when he killed that guy, not only killed him, but decapitated him with the door, people could think, "Oh, that's senseless violence. It's shock value." It's not shock value. That's a villain. Really that is the best villain in Marvel, on screen, in Marvel history. Brother, the way that he went ham on that guy after we already established him as a villain. You know what I mean? It just... It was crazy. And I can't tell you how... The thing is that you get those really high highs in the shows, and they keep getting better. Brother, that episode with Nobu...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck!
Isn't that how they opened it, too?
Oh yeah, they started it, and then they kept doing it.
Episode.
And they kept doing it throughout the episode. It's like, oh, he's fighting Nobu, he's getting cut up. Throughout the entire fight, you're thinking, oh shit, Daredevil could lose here. He's dying. Like, you felt it, even though Daredevil's not gonna die. His name's on the fucking title. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy to see, bro. And then all that fight was practical. They were doing somersaults and crazy shit, and Daredevil has met his match at that moment. Something that we won't see in the new Daredevil show. Something we didn't see in She-Hulk. They cut before the action got any good. And something we won't see ever as good. It just won't be that way. It just won't be practical. There won't be as much attention to detail. It will be considered a, not exactly soulless, but part of a content mill. And it's just not, it's not for me, man. I want original products. I'd rather just rewatch the 3 seasons of Daredevil, in my opinion. So that's it. That's all I have.
It really just feels like there's a lot less value on the quality of these Marvel projects and more of just how many can we put out there. Brother. It's quantity over quality, and Daredevil's an example of quality over quantity. It's a very short show. You can literally watch it in like just a few days. It goes by quick, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
It's memorable.
So good.
It's so goddamn good. I can't say that enough. It's simply one of the best it's the best superhero TV show ever made. It's one of the best superhero IPs out there ever made. And I can't say it enough that if you have not watched it and you like superhero stuff, or hell, if you don't like superhero stuff, the show will leave an impression on you. That's it.
Yeah. I'm so good.
I can go on about season 2 with the Punisher. I can talk about how Bullseye is portrayed as a psychopath, and I could talk about all the spoiler parts and the ending of season 1 and how amazing it is. But I will talk about that next time we talk on the podcast. If you're watching this podcast and you're really thinking about Daredevil show, but you're not sure, brother, watch the show. You will not regret it. There is not a single soul on this earth that could watch that show and think it's a bad time, that think it's boring, that if you do, you're 6. It's okay. It's okay. That's it. It's an amazing show that should be watched by everybody. That's it. That's all I have.
I think it's worth keeping in mind that it is a dark show and it is really a very grounded show. But that doesn't mean there's not levity to it. A lot of people like the humor in Marvel stuff. Daredevil has a lot of humor, and it comes from his relationship with his best friend Foggy. Like, there's a lot of funny moments in it, but it is a dark and heavy show. Like, it deals with a lot of important themes and emotions of the characters. By the time you get to season 3, you're not going to be worrying about the jokes.
Exactly.
They're placed perfectly when they need to be. But it is a dark show.
Can make you smile, can make you laugh, can make you cry. It can do it all, and it makes your fucking heart pound when it wants you to. You understand? It has control of your emotions, and you're just along for the ride. You don't have to try to pay attention. You will be invested. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I have for Daredevil. We will talk about this in tandem, in detail on the next podcast. I'm talking all of it. I want to go down every bit of it. I'm so glad that was brought up. I don't know. I think you did. Whoever brought it up. I'm so glad that was brought up because I don't remember.
I just be yapping.
Exactly, same. But it was simply amazing, and I can't recommend it enough. That's it. That's all I have for Daredevil.
Yeah, great show.
Amazing. Let's see here. I think I have all my points finished. Deadpool and Wolverine, Survivor Series, WrestleMania. Yeah, I got it all. Oh, there is one more thing. Dune. You recently rewatched that in Dolby. Talk to me about that.
Oh, so Dune. Yeah, they did the re-release in I think it was an IMAX and Dolby.
Oof.
And so I watched it yesterday, and this is my third time watching the movie. The first time I ever watched it was in Dolby in theaters. It is a long one. It's 3 hours. But it didn't feel like 3 hours. It actually, went by pretty quickly. And I don't know if it's because it was a rewatch. But I think this specific one, this third watch, I think I love Dune even more than I did before on this watch. And I don't know if it was just watching it in Dolby with the sound and, the quality of it.
I love Dolby.
But it's just... like everything hit for me this time around. I like Dune. I liked it before this watch. The first time I saw it, I thought it was really cool and really interesting and unique. But it's hard to take in, I would say, on a first watch, especially as someone who hasn't read the book or seen the original movie. There's a lot to it, a lot of exposition, and these characters are very serious. There's like not really much humor in the movie. It's a world that's so different, and it takes itself so seriously. And then I saw it again. My second time watching it was here at home on HBO Max, and I still liked it, but it was a bit more boring on that second watch because I kind of already knew what was going to happen. And then I guess because it's been like 2 years since I saw it, watching it now in Dolby, it blew me away. It hit on every single level. All the performances were fucking fantastic. The story was engaging. Yeah, feckin' fantastic. The story was engaging. The cinematography was incredible. And I'm thinking about making an in-depth video on my thoughts of it. Because you already know I love the director. He did Prisoners and Blade Runner 2049.
Indeed.
He's just... I never know how to pronounce his last name, but he's such a goated filmmaker, and I'm excited for Dune Part 2. They ended this specific Dolby showing. If you stayed after the credits, there was a sneak peek for Part 2.
Oh.
And it made me very excited. I'm excited for Dune Part 2. It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I think it's going to be good.
I hope it's good, man. I would like to see Dune Part 1 soon enough, indeed. There were some mixed opinions, but basically those opinions shocked up to me when I was reading them. It was like, okay, these people don't watch 3-hour movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I watched this, I'm like, okay, these people like the shorter ones. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
Yeah. I mean, Dune is interesting because it, I mentioned I haven't read the book, but I know the significance of the book. I know that without Dune, we wouldn't have things like Star Wars. We wouldn't have The Matrix. A lot of sci-fi stuff we wouldn't have without Dune. Because Dune basically, it started all of that. It started a lot of the tropes that we see in a lot of modern cinema.
Inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those chosen one stories, and I think this was one of the first of its kind, at least to do it on the scale that it does. And it's just, I've seen people that try to watch this Dune movie say, I found it kind of boring. I was hoping for something like Star Wars. It's sci-fi, but it's not like Star Wars.
Right.
It's very different. This one is very much more politically focused, fictional politics. It's not real life politics.
Calm down.
I'm sure there's a lot of thematic elements and symbolism that does reflect our real life. Of course, that's just how storytelling works.
Of course.
But a lot of the plot is centered around fictionalized politics and, religion and prophecy and ways of life, because it's another planet, and so people in Dune live a lot differently than we do. And it's just interesting having an insight into that world, especially with these more modern versions, because there was a Dune movie in the 70s, and I'd seen clips of it. I know that movie has its fans, but watching clips of it, I don't know, it's I feel like it that movie wasn't meant to be made in the 70s, and so watching it now, it's like the modern version of it. It looks really good. It's so immersive. The music feels so otherworldly, but so bombastic. It's great. There's a lot of elements to these movies that are just it's really good, and I'm excited for part two. I just it's hard to talk about, honestly, because I gotta like wrap my head around everything. I gotta watch it again, to be honest.
Of course. Hey, man, we watched it. Hey, come on, say, so you watch it again. Bring me along. We'll watch it together. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very good movie. Like I said, it's a lot for a first watch, so
I can imagine. It's okay,
yeah.
man. I got a big brain. I can wrap it around.
Yeah.
One or two times.
You comprehend movies very well, so
I try
you I'm sure you won't miss much watching Dune.
Yeah, that's something that we whenever we watch a movie together, we catch everything. You know what I mean? It's like all the little slide things with our powers combined, we don't miss shit. It's great. You know, so it's
and also Dune has a great fucking cast.
Yeah, Zendaya, Timothy Chalamet, Jesus.
Yeah, I forgot Josh Brolin was in it.
Brolin?
And then when he showed up, when he showed up, I was like, damn, that's right. He's one of the best characters in the fucking movie. I forgot Jason Momoa was in the fucking movie.
Momoa! Aquaman? That's crazy.
Yeah, Batista's in the movie.
Really? Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Stellan Skarsgård, Oscar Isaac.
Oh, so it's got
Lots
a cast.
Yeah. It's got some good names in there. And then, this new one has Austin Butler and Florence Pugh that they're showing a lot in marketing. So I wonder what their character is going to be like.
Florence Pugh can be a star, bro. She really can. She can do anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's all the roles that she's done, all the accents that she's pulled. You know what I mean? She's going to be a star, a big one. She already is, but a bigger one.
Yeah, she's going to be bigger than she is now, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to say she's got those chameleon vibes. I do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Any role I go for, I get it. You know, because she's the best for it. It's all right.
If she hasn't won an Oscar already, she will.
She will easily, no, without a shadow of a doubt.
Sure.
It may take her 20 fucking years like Leo, but it's okay.
I hope it doesn't.
Me neither. Leo has been screwed for years on the Oscars, brother. You could tell how fucking what's the word? How fucking bitter he was as the years continues. Like, really, again, seriously? And then when he won it for The Revenant, I'm like, that's the one? Really? Don't get me wrong. I love The Revenant. It's an amazing movie. But Leo has like 5 sentences, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Okay, whatever.
Could have been Wolf of Wall Street, but okay.
Okay, exactly, right? I think that would have been controversial. That's probably why they didn't do it. Maybe. Who won that year? I don't even know. Oh, it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know he was even nominated.
Yeah. Fair. Come on, say so, man. Then again, it is what it is. The Oscars. The only thing interesting about the monsters is how they fuck up every year. I think last year was Will Smith, and then this year I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll see.
We'll see what they got up their sleeve.
We'll see. Fucking hell. What can you do?
Fucking Barbie wins Best Picture.
No, I'm telling you right now, if Barbie beats Oppenheimer, I will riot, brother. Ain't no way. Let me tell you something, Juju. I'm sure that it's serviceable. You've seen it, I haven't. Not because I hate the fucking movie. It's just that I haven't gotten around to it. I watched Oppenheimer in Dolby. Okay, I only have room for one in my heart. Okay, and Oppenheimer was a classic. It was an instant, just 10 out of 10. I loved it from front to back, and that ending for me was the perfect fuck. I rewatched it at least 10 times on YouTube. It's amazing. If that movie gets beaten, I wouldn't even mind if it lost. But if it gets beaten by Barbie, bruh.
I would just laugh if Barbie won.
Yeah, me too.
That's all you can really do in that situation. It's just, all right. I mean, Barbie was good, but it's not Best Picture.
Exactly. That's what I say. Like, okay, this show is rigged. It's been confirmed. Yeah. That's how this shit would be.
Last year, I think, was the first year where like a movie I actually liked won, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I was like, thank God.
It deserved it. It deserved it. It was a fucking amazing film from front to back. It was weird. It was sci-fi. It was amazing drama with real
It was every
stakes.
movie in one movie.
You get it.
Yeah. That's what made it so good.
It was so amazing.
The fact that they pulled it off.
Oh, and I love that it was shot in modern day too. Everything looked so clear. Yeah, it was just, it was great. Yeah. I loved it, man. So,
such a fun movie.
Overall, man, como se, I think that's all I have for this podcast. Do you have anything else you wanted to share? Anything to add? Anything insightful?
Well, it's not really insightful,
Yeah,
but
you get
one
it.
thing I can talk about is I watched Ted season 1 on
Ooh.
Peacock, and honestly, it was pretty good. Pretty funny show.
Dude, Squeedo is a massive fanboy of Ted's 1 and 2, and frankly, I love Ted's 1 and 2 as well. They're funny as
Yeah.
shit, man. I can't get enough of them.
There's a lot of jokes in this prequel that are honestly better than the ones in the movies. Like,
Really?
I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like Seth MacFarlane, when writing this show, he was just like, he turned his offensive meter all the way up to 11 because he was like, I don't give a fuck about anyone's feelings watching this show. I'm just gonna make whatever joke I find funny. In the first fucking 10 minutes, Ted is talking about how he's a midget and he's allowed to use that word because he's one of them.
Fair, fair. No, no,
And
no.
then there,
Recite the. I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off. Recite that one
yeah.
where it's talking about they got him. Recite that for me.
Oh, yeah. So this is also in the first episode. So Ted has to go to school with John, and so they're sitting outside of like the front of his high school, and he's like, "How weird is it being the only white guy in your school?" And he's just like, "Well, we're in the middle of Boston, so we actually had an Indian kid last year." And Ted gets excited. He's like, "Oh yeah, but they got him.
They got
What do you mean they got him? I like them too."
I like it
But what
too.
do you mean they got him?
It's just so ridiculous, man. I love it. What else? What else?
There's he there's a lot of shit of just like, Ted drinking and smoking weed. The thing is, Ted in the show technically is like 8 years old,
Right.
but he's a teddy bear, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. He doesn't have lungs.
So, yeah, and he's essentially the same character from the movies. Like, they did not change anything about Ted whatsoever.
course.
The only thing about John is that he's younger. And
Mhm.
honestly, the actor, I know he's not exactly doing an impression, but he does a spot on Mark Wahlberg. Like, his voice
Yeah,
he
because
sounds exactly like him.
whoever that fucking Mark Wahlberg was portraying, it was simply Mark Wahlberg with an accent. That's all it was. That's all it
Yeah,
was.
and this kid is his voice just screams Mark Wahlberg
I like
with a
that.
Boston accent. Like, it's like literally like the perfect. The only character that I didn't like too much was Blair, and she's John's older cousin who lives with the family. And so the only reason I didn't like that character is because she's one of those characters that she has to put her politics into the show
Mm.
and her beliefs and everything. And honestly, it kind of took me out at points. Not because I disagree with her point of view, but the fact that the show took place in the 90s, and I felt like a lot of her vision fit more within modern day.
Mhm.
And so it kind of took me out whenever she would call someone out for for making an offensive remark or something, like Ted.
That's fair.
And yeah, and so like that's the only thing that like kind of took me out. But even then, the actress did a great job, and even she had like her funny moments too. There's just a lot of there's a lot of funny elements to that show, and I think Seth MacFarlane was at the top of his game when he was making it, because like even just the direction of it, all the characters have their episodes. It's a funny ass show.
Good.
Like, I want another season or a Ted 3, like a movie.
Ted 3 would be sick. That would be a fucking
Ted
movie
3
and a
would
half.
be sick.
Oh boy. No, dude, como se dice? I want to touch on something real quick. The actor that plays Blair, I just want to point something out. At the
Mhm.
end of the day, it doesn't matter what the character did. An actor should never be blamed
Oh.
for what their
Yeah,
character
no.
believes or
She
their
did great.
character achieved. I just want to point that out. Real quick. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying that there are a
Yeah.
lot of people in this world that want to attack an actor for something that they portrayed, and it's ridiculous. Okay, they're doing their job. They're getting paid. They're doing shit that people have written for them. Perfect example is Rose in Star Wars. The amount of fucking hate mail and the death threats and all this shit that she was getting for just playing a fucking character that she was so fucking excited to play because it's fucking Star Wars. You know, it's ridiculous. You can hate the character, you can hate the writers, but you cannot hate the actress. Because she didn't play her role horribly. She simply played the role. That's all it was.
Yeah.
You know? So people are idiots for doing shit like that. And I just want to add, como se dice, they did that for that one show, Kenobi. Now, people hated her for other reasons as well, but there was a few fanatics in there, and it's the same thing for them, you know? It's like.
Are we talking about? Is she one of the villains?
Yeah, one of the villains. She was the black lady. I forget her name.
I hadn't seen. all of Kenobi yet.
All
So
right. Well, I won't. Nothing I have to say has anything to do with the plot, but she was a
yeah,
villain.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
people hated, como se dice, there were some fanatics that hated her for her race, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this shouldn't be there. And there was the overt racism in her DMs, and that's ridiculous. It's stupid. That being said, there was a lot of fair criticism about that character that was completely overshadowed by the fanatics, okay? That's ridiculous. And then Disney focused on the fanatics rather than the actual criticism. But there were indeed fanatics, and those fanatics are completely wrong. An actor should never be blamed for that kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's like, it was a narrative choice. Why am I getting death threats in my DMs? Fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. People who do that shit, I know that they're bottom of the barrel, fucking low IQ idiots. Because they don't know how production works in any way. You know what I mean? It's absolutely disgusting, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even like, going back to the character of Blair, like, her, just because a character, has, a specific viewpoint on politics, does not mean that is what the whole show is about.
That too. That too.
It does not take away from the show at all. It doesn't take away from the performances, doesn't take away from the director or even the writers themselves. It is just a part of the show, and it is a part of that character. That's the point. Leave it to the character.
Yeah.
What's your example?
Okay, my example is pretty simple. I always talk about this. You already know what I'm going to say. Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Ellie. Oh my God, she's gay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kirkman is pushing down a gay agenda down our throats. Bro, they made out once. That was it. That's all. It was a 5-minute scene to establish romance. And then all of a sudden, the whole game is a gay agenda. Even the transgenderism, brother. They thought it was transgenderism. They were shoving a transgender agenda down our throats just because Abby had muscles.
Yeah.
That's all. Are you kidding me? That's all it was, and that's all I was hearing in the lead up and after The Last of Us came out. All the critics were, not all the critics, obviously not, but there were a lot of bad critics that were being absolutely crazy, like, oh, they're shoving down this agenda. They're talking about Abby. Como se dice, she's transgender, and I don't really want to play as that character, bro. Abby, if you played the game and you actually paid attention, you know that Abby's a woman. Abby went to the gym every fucking day for 7 years or however long, and she got swole because of that. God forbid a woman gets some fucking muscles. You know what I mean? I guess women bodybuilders don't exist. You know what I mean? They're all transgender, I guess. It's ridiculous.
Look at Rhea Ripley, bro.
Exactly.
She's buff as hell.
She's a woman, though. That's the thing. She's a woman. And then you look at the gay agenda thing. It's like, oh my God, Ellie's gay. Ellie likes girls. Oh, they're pushing this agenda down her throat. Who cares? She was gay for 5 minutes, and then it almost never resurged again. Just every now and again when they talked about the relationship, like at the end, that's it. It was maybe a total of like 30 to 40 minutes of your time. It was worried about a gay relationship. That's it. These are normal people, all right? They were not forcing a gay agenda down your throat. Just how, and this is the worst fucking thing for me. This is so ridiculous. Remember the outcry around Starfield about how you can choose your pronouns? That was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever fucking seen. Brother, it is legit a a character creation menu. It is legit a 2-second thing, and then you never see or hear from it again. People lost their fucking minds. Like,
people really make... I've noticed, especially when it comes to criticism, a lot of people will take one thing they don't like and fucking run with it, and then that is their whole criticism for why this one thing is bad. It's like, you have to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at everything. And just because you disagree with one thing, or you think that this one thing shouldn't be there, and it's a small thing, that doesn't make the rest of the game bad. Starfield is just boring as fuck.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't care if I can choose my pronouns or not. It's just a boring ass game.
It's boring. So that's your problem, okay? Don't make the fucking LGBT thing the head of the issue, because it's not. It's less than 1% of the issue. Yet you still make it the thumbnail. You still make it the fucking title. All this stuff, and that creates outrage. It's ridiculous. It's dumb.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have the right to say whatever the fuck you want, but I also have the right to say you're a fucking idiot. So there you go. That's it.
Politics are always a tricky thing when it comes to media, because people are always going to assume that if a writer wants to push some kind of agenda, maybe that's the message of the story they're telling. Maybe that's the point of this character. And just because you disagree with it does not make this product bad.
It doesn't make it bad. It's just a different perspective, and it's always engaging
Exactly.
to see other perspectives, as long as they're grounded in some sort of reality. What I mean by that is that the argument actually has some sort of value to it, and it has some sort
Yeah.
of structure to it. Like, you know what's a good antithesis of an argument without with structure? A good antithesis: flat Earth. Nothing to stand on. Whatsoever.
Literally.
Nothing to
Literally.
stand on. All right, when I see shit like that, I'm like, okay, ridiculous. Get it out of my face. It's easily pushed aside. But when you get actual opinions that make sense, and like, you know what, you're right in some ways. I may disagree with you, but I see where you're coming from. Then that's 100% okay to view. And even if it may not be for you, you can't say it's bad. You know what I mean? It's just, it's ridiculous. I hate seeing that shit. You know?
Bro, flat earthers are not going to listen now.
Damn, yo, all two of you, my bad. Yeah, me personally, I didn't mean it. You know, fucking yeah, it's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, you can't stop people from getting mad. You can't stop people from getting outraged. And the people that are listening right now already agree with the sentiment. At the end of the day, most of this shit happens on Twitter, and we all know Twitter people don't leave Twitter. It is what it is. Yeah. Twitter fanatics rather don't live Twitter. Jesus.
Yeah.
Maybe fucking 4chan. That's
And going back to Ted, my only criticism with Blair is that she feels like a modern day character in the 90s, and it took me out a little bit. That's it.
That's fair. You see, that's it. That's all he said. All right, he's
Yeah.
not gonna make a 15-minute fucking video about her. Oh, she pushed his politics, and I don't like that. No, he didn't say that.
No, I actually really liked Blair as a character, especially her relationship with Ted. It was really fun. And then the actress is great. Like the actress, I recognized her immediately. She's from The Punisher season 2, and I got really excited because I didn't know she was in the show.
I haven't seen that.
So I was like, finally, I don't think I've seen her in anything else other than Punisher, but I liked her in The Punisher. So the fact that she was in Ted made me excited, and I wanted to see what she would do.
Good. Let's say I do got to see Ted eventually. It's like one of the only things that Peacock has that I actually want to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you like the Ted movies, you're gonna like the show.
It's on the list, along with everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say, but yeah, I think that's all I have.
I think that's it.
I love the way the WWE is going right now. I love the Daredevil show. Fucking watch it.
Deadpool is gonna be good. Maybe.
I don't know. Deadpool is gonna be good. Right. Dune was a good watch. Ted was a good watch.
Ted was a good watch.
And at the end of the day, flat earthers, you don't belong here. All right, bye.
Yeah.